Now, when I was active in the pastorate, I used to think that, is anyone, you're doing good? Okay, yeah, go ahead and breathe, yeah, sure. Anyone else need to while we're at it? Okay, yeah, you can breathe. I'm actually quite disappointed in you people. Yeah, and you can breathe, and you can breathe. You did better. World record, by the way, 17 minutes. Yes, sir. Breathe. Thank you. You know, I asked you to do a very simple thing. Thank you. Yes. Don't fall over. I asked you to do a very simple thing. I asked you to stop breathing. Yes, you can breathe. Have you noticed that when your lungs fill up with air, you have the need to breathe it out? And when you breathe it out, you have the need to take it in. And that's been going on automatically, and it's been going on unconsciously because the supply of air was unlimited. That's exactly what happens to the alcoholic when we put this stuff up and put it into our body. Subtly, invisibly, it sets up this craving. So how do you recognize an alcoholic? What does he do after he takes a drink? He takes another one. What does he do after that? He takes another one. I once worked with a man who was a medical doctor, Christian medical missionary, given his life to Christ. His wife pulled me aside one weekend. I was working with him. She said, "No, my husband had 13 drinks on the plane. This is the Christian medical missionary." I looked at her and I said, "So?" She nearly slapped me. No, I was just kidding. But I knew exactly what was going on. That this doctor had a physical reaction to alcohol that was totally different than the normal person gets. I recognize it because I've had it. And it's not that I'm not committed, surrendered to Christ, wanting to serve Christ. The reason is that when I put it into my body insists that I have another drink, just as much as your body insists that you have another breath of air. It is that forceful for us alcoholics. And that craving only happens to those with the disease of alcoholism, and it occurs once we put alcohol into our system. So we don't know. I used to think when I was a pastor that these jolly alcoholics, they got what they deserved. They drank too much, they drank too long, and they got it coming to them. Until I discovered many people like Grandma turning 74, never touched a drop of alcohol in his life. His whole family gathers around to celebrate Gramps' birthday. What do they bring him? A bottle of champagne. And that is the last sober breath Grandpa ever drank. Cool. And there is story after story after story like that, from the very first sip of alcohol, freeze-dried alcoholism, waiting, latent, add the alcohol, kaboom, kaboom. And then there are other people like my friend, this pilot of the 747 jetliner, who drank normally his whole flying career. No incidents, no problems, no untoward behavior. And when he retired, became this helpless alcoholic, had to go through treatment twice. Sometimes it happens immediately, sometimes it happens over time. But at some point, those with the disease of addiction, they cross an invisible line. And the weird thing, people, the weird thing is you do not see it coming. You cannot see it while you're in it. You never see it through the windshield of your life. You see it only through the rear view mirror. Now, once that's crossed, it's like the pickle becoming the cucumber. That pickle will never, the cucumber becomes a pickle, doesn't it? If it went the other way, that would be a miracle. It's like the cucumber becoming the pickle. Once it's a pickle, it'll never go back to become a cucumber again. Never. Once a person has this disease of addiction, they will never, ever safely be able to take mind-altering, mood-altering substances without being carefully monitored and prescribed by an attending physician. I haven't had a drink for 15 years, 8 months. If I took a drink today, I probably would not be around by the weekend. My body still has the same genetic predisposition, and as long as I don't put it into my body, I'm fine. And isn't that the solution? I mean, these sorry alcoholics, what's so hard about it? Just stop drinking. We'll have questions and answer time of year. Just stop drinking. I mean, isn't that the solution? Stop it. Stop it. Right? And the strange thing is, that is the solution, but it isn't the solution. God knows how many times. I'm a great quitter, by the way. I'm very good at quitting. I quit at least 1,000 times. The problem with the alcoholic addict is not the quitting part. We got that down pat, don't we? What is our problem? We can't stay quit. Now, in order for recovery to take place, make no mistake about it, there has to be the decision to quit. There has to be the practice of quitting, because without physical sobriety, there is no such thing as sobriety. But why can't the alcoholic addict stay quit? Now we go to the second component, which is the mental component, the disease of the mind. This is by far more important. And the reason it's more important is, once you have detoxed, once the alcohol and drugs are out of your system, what do you have left? You have your mind. And when you relapse, you are relapsing stone cold sober. You are not picking up another drink, another drug because of this abnormal effect. Because once the body's detoxed, that goes dormant, it goes into remission. It's not activated again until you put the substance into which the body reacts abnormally. So now, stone cold sober, here I am, what I've got is a mind, and if you'll read the text there, you will see that the mind of the alcoholic addict, with respect to drugs and alcohol, has abnormal wiring. And that abnormal wiring is that we will get sane thinking going in. I'm an alcoholic addict, I can't do it, I shouldn't do it. You have at the same time insane thoughts coming into your head. Wow, I really need one. This time will be different. This time I won't get in trouble. And it doesn't matter how intelligent the person, and it doesn't matter how many times they've repeated the failed experiment. We pick up, we do it again, expecting the results to be different. They never are. And that's the definition of insanity.